Apple has been, I think, they're one of the worst in terms of their dependence on China. But you got to remember, they've been, to a certain extent, shanghaied into that position by the globalist leadership of the United States over the last 30 or 40 years, right? I mean, they kind of had no other option given the trade policy that the World Trade Organization was pursuing, given the global trade posture that the United States was pursuing. Apple didn't really have a choice as to where they would manufacture. They just happened to also do really well, and so that's why they're the biggest example, not because they're uniquely pro-China or anything. We're anti-American. It's because they're the most successful at what they do, period. And that happens to force you into being dependent on China. But I mean, I think if you look at the last decade, Apple's been trying to get out of China in a quiet way. But I actually can understand why someone like Tim Cook would align with a lot of what Trump is talking about. I mean, imagine you're Tim Cook. Imagine you are, on paper, one of the most powerful people in the world. You run a company with, what's Apple's market cap? $3 trillion. Largest employer, largest market cap, maybe the largest cash reserves of any American company. And yet Tim Cook, whether I agree with him or not, clearly cares about social issues, right? Imagine you're in his position and you can't say something like, I think concentration camps are bad, or I think people should be allowed to practice their religion, whatever it is. I mean, that's got to be a little bit of an emasculating thing. If I were him, I'd be stoked about the potential opportunity to not just have yourself forced into a position where you're making more in the US and less in China, but where everyone else is forced to do so along with you. Tim Cook can't escape this hell of the elites making without everyone being drug along. And so if I were him, I'd be close to Trump too.